Well, it's time for our trimester projects. So I want to introduce the project to you, give you some options, and tell you about my expectations for the trimester project for contemporary issues in science. So I want to start with our calendar. If you log on to our course and look at our calendar, I just want to show you the time frame of what this looks like. So during this first week, I'm asking that you do first trimester project prep. So what I want you to do is obviously watch this video that you're watching, and then I want you to look through the project options and rubrics. And then by the end of this week here, I would like for you to tell me your project proposal. The way you're going to tell me that and tell our classmates is to add it to a group discussion board where you can tell us what your project is going to be. Then the next week, I'd like for you to take the entire week to work on the project, okay? Watch my video again as needed. Here are the rubrics and options again. I would like for this to be due by the end of this week, and you're going to turn this in by uploading it directly to a discussion board. I'll show you that in a moment. Then, the week after these are due, we're going to spend a week looking at them. I want you to look at each other's work. So you're going to click on the links that have been provided on our discussion boards, and you're going to view at least 4 of your classmates' projects, and you're going to give constructive, helpful comments to those people, to those classmates that you've viewed. Okay, so just to review the calendar, this first week here is about thinking about your project and then proposing. Second week is working and submitting the project. Third week is viewing these projects and giving feedback to our classmates. Okay, so let's get into it. What are the trimester projects? Well, what I wanted to do was I wanted to give you a choice in how you did a project. Now, there are a few parameters. One, the project you choose has to be related to something that we've covered so far. So the content of your project has to be related to what we've done in the class so far. So, contemporary issues in science, here's our trimester 1 project. This is a 60 total point project, so it is a huge component of your grade. All right, so let's start with the scope and sequence. And I've explained this to you a bit, but here it is again, giving you point values for everything and when these things are due, okay? So you're right now learning about the project, then you're gonna post your project type to our discussion board, that's due here. Then you're going to post your file, once you've done it, you're gonna work on the project, then you're going to post your file or link to the discussion board itself. You're not going to email it to me. You're not going to put it in a Dropbox. You're actually going to put your finished product on our discussion board so we can look at them together. Then you'll view classmates' projects. You'll comment on those. And then you need to reply back to your classmates' comments, right? So if 4 people commented on your project, you need to reply back to them as well. All right, so what are the projects? I've tried to really give you some options here, okay? Each option has a rubric. So if you're wondering, I don't know how to do this, well, all you got to do is click on the rubric and follow the rubric to do your project. So I'm going to run through these. I'll give you the option, and then I tell you if you can choose one partner in the class to work with, and this has to be someone enrolled in our online course. Here are the links, and then any extra resources. Now, I will tell you, I'm collecting more and more resources all the time and adding over here. So check back often to this master trimester project document, and you can see if I've updated anything for you. All right, so here are your options. 1, you can do a 2 to 3 page research paper on a topic that's related to our class, and that has to be in APA format. You cannot work with a partner. Let me quickly take you to the rubric for this. So basically what we're asking you to do is do some research in advance, and then we're wanting you to come up with a thesis statement. So you need to come up with a thesis, some statement about one of the topics that we have covered, and then you need to write a research paper on it. So you're going to do research, you're going to have introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. Of course, this has to be cited, and we want good quality in this paper, all right? So if there's some topic we've talked about that you're really interested in, you want to do some research on it, and really delve into it, we do require that you have 5 major references for that. So this is your first option. I want these to be about 2 to 3 pages if you do a research paper. Okay, so second option is something you can work with a partner on, and this is you will interview an expert in the field about one of our covered topics. So if you were really into GMOs and you knew a scientist that worked in GMOs, or if you're really interested in vaccines and you know a medical doctor who is really interested in vaccines, we would encourage you to interview them and then make a video or audio recording. You can work with a partner on this, right? Because this is a little more in depth. You're making a recording of this and we want it to be nice. Here's the rubric for that. This is an expert interview, right? You're going to do some research, make sure your interviewee is appropriate for this topic. Then we want you to ask them some questions. We want you to record this. And we really want this to be in really good quality, okay? So this is going to be an audio recording that you're going to post. I'm going to continue to fill in point values and all of that as I get a little further into this, but I wanted to introduce you to this. Along those same lines, if you don't want to make a video about your interview, you can interview an expert in the field about one of our topics and then write a newspaper article that we're going to submit to the CUSP. Now, you should know that the CUSP has guidelines, right? Our Canon paper, our Canon school paper, and you should follow these guidelines here. You have to actually interview so many people on campus as well. The rubric for that is here. To click on that, basically, you're going to do the same thing, except in the article, you have to do all of these things to make sure that this is submissible to the paper. Okay? So that's an expert interview for the CUSP and audio video. So let's say you didn't want to interview an expert, but you want to write an article for the CUSP. So perhaps you want to do a myth-busting article. So maybe there's some myth that people have that you know is common. Maybe it's about, but it has to be about our topic, right? Maybe it's about climate change or GMO, something. You can write a myth-busting article for the CUSP. No partners allowed on this one. And here's our rubric. So this is what I'm looking for, right? You got to research this topic. You got to give me a good headline, opening paragraphs, and then follow the CUSP guidelines if we want to submit this to the CUSP. All right, so let's say you're not into any of those things. You can, this is for you artsy people, you can create an original piece of artwork, a painting, a drawing, an infographic, a t-shirt. It's got to be about one of our topics, and you will need to include a 1-page written artist statement explaining that work. So here are the categories, right? So I'm not an artist, so I'm not going to be super judgy about your artwork, but I am going to be more interested in your artist statement that accompanies that, right? So it has to be about one of our topics. You need to include all this information in the rubric, and that will be available for you to see actually every single thing I'm looking for. So if you are not into art, you're not into writing, I've got some other options for you. You can create a little video like I do. So I want you to pick one particular topic that we've gone over and then pick a subtopic, right? So maybe instead of picking the topic of consciousness, you zoom in and say, oh, I'm really interested in the perception aspect. And you want to give us some more information in the form of an educational video. So you could make that video, you record your PowerPoint or Google just like I do, what I'm doing right now, and you're going to edit that down to about 5 or 10 minutes. Here's the rubric for that. I'm telling you how to begin the video, what I want in the video, but I'm also looking for some quality of recording on this one, right? So you need to make sure your audio and video is good, etc. If you don't know how to do this, I'm giving you 2 suggestions to record your screen. Screencast-O-Matic and Screencastify are 2 really good programs for that. They are free and pretty easy to use if you want to record your screen. All right, we got 2 more. This one's fun. If you've just wanted to argue or debate one of these topics throughout this entire year so far, you can choose this and choose a partner. You and your partner make a little debate. you debate one of our topics, and you record it, okay? Because we got to see the debate. So I tell you the sequence of debate, what you're going to do first, second, third, fourth, and then what has to be in the debate, and then some style things for that debate. These need to be about, 5 to 10 minutes in length, right? We don't want super long debates. And you do need to edit this because we have to record it. So I'm giving you some options. If you have a Mac, you might want to consider Apple iMovie. If you're a PC, you might want to look at this Ease US Editor. All of these are free, but they do have some learning curves. If you want to do, I will say this, if you want to do some video thing and you're really struggling with a video or audio, make an appointment, stop by and see me. I'll help you. We'll look for something maybe that's easy for you to understand. Okay, and then your last option is to record a newscast of yourself. So think about when you're watching the nightly news and some new science topic comes on, you got your newscaster explaining this new thing. So what you may do is you may research a recent headline, right? Something that's related to what we've been talking about, maybe about GMOs, vaccines. Vaccines are certainly in the news. And then you're going to record a little newscast. I want that to be about 5 minutes in length. And again, on this one, because it's a little more entailed with video, you may have a partner. Here's your rubric for that. The rubric, pretty basic. I tell you how to begin the newscast, what I want in it, and then some quality things I'm looking for as well. And again, here's some projects you may use. So what you need to do, you need to think what option you want of these here. If you want to work with a partner, you got to be one of these here in green. Find your partner. Then you need to choose your content. These are the topics we have talked about so far. So it has to be the content of your project has to be in these categories, okay? All right, so what are you doing next? Remember, first thing you need to do, learn, that's what you've done. Choose a project type, and if you're going to have a partner, and then you need to post that to our discussion board. How do you do that? Well, you can go to the calendar and link to the discussion board, or of course, you can scroll down here on our page, go to Trimester 1 Projects, and here's the video, here's the rubrics. This one is the first one, Project Choice Discussion. So you'll click here. You'll tell me what you're doing, if you have a partner, and why you're doing that. Post it. I'll reply back. So you need to then come back and check this to make sure I have okayed this project and that I think it's a good one for you to do. Then, once you've done and you've worked on your project, instead of sharing with me, I want you to turn in your project here to the completion board. So what you'll do is you'll just click like you're going to write a comment, and then you're going to insert a file. So if it's a link, like if it's a Google, if it's a paper, it's a Google Doc or something you've written, just give us the link. If it is a file, video file, you might consider uploading that to Vimeo or YouTube and then giving us the link. Or you can always try to just attach the file directly by clicking on this file button here. Okay? All right. Hopefully you're excited about this. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop by my room. Let's chat about it. This is a lot of points, and this is sort of the culmination of our entire trimester. So I want you to do well, and I want you to be prepared for this. All right? Have fun working on your project.